I was a good kid for a long time growing up, straight A's, top of my class, decent athlete. Probably 16, 17, like a lot of kids my age, started experimenting with, drinking and pot and just some other, minor stuff. It became, another mask. I was always kind of that chameleon. I would find my way to fit in all kinds of different crowds, just however I was feeling at the time. Went to college at Texas A&M. That's when things really started getting more heavy for me. I started hanging out with a small group of guys that were getting into some harder stuff. And, again, kind of the group around me was doing it, and it wasn't a big deal. I didn't feel like it was an issue. After college, I kind of had been separated from the group of people I'd been hanging out with and stayed in College Station working. And that's when I noticed, there was a problem. I started pawning stuff. I started, I was paycheck to paycheck, wasn't showing up to work, really, really starting to have some consequences on a minor level. At some point thereafter, started really getting into some IV drug use and some stuff like that, and made my way into treatment when I was 27. I think this last time when I really wanted to be sober, it was finally nothing to do with the externals, right? Everything externally in my life looked okay. I still had a job. I still had a place to go. I still had an apartment. I had a little bit of money in my bank account. I could have stayed out there going, but internally I was so broken and so hopeless, and just life was devastating, and I didn't want to do it anymore. I finally had, nothing left to prove to myself. And at that point in my life, I did everything that was suggested of me and way more. I wasn't a guy that was just showing up at a meeting and sitting in a seat and just being a body in the room. I was actively involved. I was face to face with newcomers a lot. I was in Springboard, able to carry the message to guys that were in treatment here. For me, that's been part of the reason I'm still sober today, right? Just making the fellowship kind of my new life. And today it looks pretty similar. The guys that I keep around me, it's all men in recovery. They were the evidence that this program worked, and that was all I needed to follow their footsteps. And these guys have showed me how to live, because I didn't know anything about life. I think a lot of what Springboard showed me is that my alcoholism is way more than the substances I'm using and the externals of what my life's looking like. It's my selfishness and self-centeredness. It's this hopelessness, the anxiety, the fear, all that kind of stuff that continues to drive me and continues to keep me away from having an opportunity to do anything better with my life, and from having an opportunity to get free of all this destruction. The appreciation and gratitude my family has for me today is boggling. I was that tornado who just destroyed everything for so long. And it's so cool today. I'll get these random texts from my dad every now and then. That's just, you don't know how proud of you I am. And you don't know how proud of you me and your mom are, and it's been amazing. And that was never my goal, right? To make my parents proud. It started out as just me wanting to be okay with being alive, me wanting to be okay with being here. But it's been so incredibly rewarding. I think for me, probably the coolest part of it and the most rewarding part of it is walking other men through sobriety, watching them come back, pick up sponsees and start doing the same thing over and over again. It is super rewarding, almost like a spiritual, high to some extent, when I see another man going through what I just, showed them.